Okay. All right, so we are going to keep it all seated today. So just get your chair in a good, nice, happy position, wherever you like it the best on your mat. And then once you've got your chair in a good place where you like it to be, scoot your butt way back, let your back settle into your chair. Take a couple of nice, gentle, settling breaths. And then if you can, close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Let your hands rest wherever feels the most comfortable. Let your arms, your elbows, your shoulders, just find a nice snuggly place where they feel comfortable, but you can still gently breathe in and out. Once you've taken a couple of gentle settling in breaths, then just start to notice the breath coming in and out through your nostrils. So then if you're feeling constricted in your sinuses, notice if you're breathing clearly through one side compared to the other, because sometimes we get a little congested on one side, but we can still breathe through one nostril. Nostril breathing is optimal, but if breathing through the nose doesn't feel good, then you're going to open your mouth and gently breathe there. And then assuming that you can still breathe in and out through at least one side of your nostrils, on an inhale, you're going to do an inhale for a count of 4, but while you inhale and count to 4, you're going to gently press your teeth together. So like coming to that edge of clenching your jaw. And then as you exhale, you're just going to relax the space between your teeth. So inhale, gently press your teeth together. Exhale, relax that pressing between the teeth and slowly breathe out. Inhale, press your teeth together. Exhale, relax the pressure between your teeth. Let the breath go. Inhale, press the teeth together. Exhale, soften the space between your teeth. Go for 2 more cycles of breath like that if you can. And now we're going to keep breathing in and out through the nose best we can. But now we're going to take our awareness down to our feet. So we're going to keep our eyes closed, keep breathing in and out through our nose to the best of our ability. But now feel your feet touching the ground. Give a moment if you need to so that your feet feel like they're nice and evenly spread. And then we're going to inhale as we press down into our left big toe. So you're going to press down into your left big toe. Inhale through your nose. Release that pressure in your big toe. Exhale nice and slow. Press down into your right big toe. Inhale through your nose. Release the pressure on your big toe. Exhale nice and slow. Press down into your left big toe. Inhale through your nose. Release the press in your big toe. Exhale nice and slow. Press down into your right big toe. Inhale through your nose. Release the pressure in your toe. Exhale nice and slow. We're going to go one more time through. Press down into the left big toe. Breathe in through your nose. Release that press. Exhale nice and slow. Press down into your right big toe. Breathe in through your nose. Release the pressure in your big toe. Exhale nice and slow. Beautiful. And then keeping your back resting against the back of the chair, we're going to draw little micro circles in the air with our nose. So this is bringing that movement into the head and the neck and the cervical spine, but we're going to go super small, super gentle. And then as you start to go, maybe notice, did you clench your teeth or do anything, grip in your fingers or grip in your toes. Where can you soften and still allow your head to turn in a small, gentle, mindful way? Take one more circle around in this direction, and then we're going to reverse, go the other way. One more circle around, and then we're just going to start to sit up a little bit. So just lifting your back away from the back of your seat so you're sitting up just a little bit taller. Now take your left hand and we're going to go fingers underneath the collarbone, and we're just going to kind of smush around or draw little smushy circles underneath the collarbone. What we're trying to do is just kind of wake up the line where the lymph flows. So we're just going to kind of smush around right under the collarbone, give a couple of more good squishes, and then switch right over to the other side, right underneath the collarbone. Pads of the fingers are doing the work, and we want the skin and the connective tissue to kind of move with the pads of our fingers. All right, one more little smush around there, and then we're going to take our little tapping fingers and we're going to start to tap, tap, tap around right behind the ears. So think along the side of the neck, behind the ears, and just kind of tap, tap, tap around gently. And now we're going to start to drag and pull. So once you've tap, tap, tapped around just enough, drag down the side of your neck with a nice gentle pulling motion. And then once you hit about the collarbone area, lift it right back up, come back behind the ears, drag and pull down. Once you hit that collarbone area, come back up, drag and pull down. Do about 2 more here. Just find a nice pace and a nice depth of work that should feel good and soothing. And then once you've done that last drag down, now we're going to take our thumbs, hook them into the armpits, and then we're going to draw some circles with our shoulders. So circle around, but keep a little bit of a squeeze in the armpits. We want to massage the areas within the armpits using the thumbs to just kind of create that little bit of tension, and then go in the other direction if it feels good. Nice. One more circle around, and then we're going to lift one armpit up or lift one elbow up, and then just do a couple nice little pats up and down the side of the body. One more little pat, pat, pat up and down the side of the body, and then take it right over to the other side. Beautiful. One more little pat, pat, pat up and down the side of the body, and then take a moment to just let your hands rest on the tops of your thighs or your knees. Close your eyes and just for a moment, notice your sinuses, your neck, your armpit chest area. Awesome. And then we're going for a little bit of a hip hinge. So you're going to keep your hands resting on your knees or your thighs. You're going to go hip hinge, lean your heart forward, and then come right back up to a nice upright seat. Lean forward just a little bit. Come right back up. And do that one more time. Lean forward just a little bit. As you come back up, now you're going to flip your palms so your palms are open facing the ceiling, and then we're going to go fingers to touch, but we're going to use our inhale to count. So we're going to inhale 4 touches to the fingertips. Exhale 4 touches to the fingertips. So we're going to cycle through the fingers. So index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, and then pinky, ring, middle, index. That you're going to use that as your sort of breath count. So let your hands rest or be lifted, whatever feels just more accessible and feels comfortable. If it feels good to do so, close your eyes or just focus your gaze, and then you're just going to start to find that inhale. Touch, 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 and then exhale and reverse your touch. And then you may find that as your breath depth increases, that you go for an 8 count touch. So you may go through the fingers and then back again as an inhalation, and then you may go through the fingers and back again on your exhalation. So if your breath starts to deepen and a deeper count makes sense, go for that bigger count. Go one more time through if you can. And then the next time the index finger and the thumb come to touch, we're going to take it into chin mudra. So index finger and thumb to touch, just a light touch. So it's not a deep pressure, but we just touch. And then we keep the other 3 fingers gently touching each other and extend it out as long as feels comfortable, but variations may apply. So just extending the fingers out, pause here for a moment, let your hands rest gently on the backs of your thighs, keeping that nice gentle chin mudra, which can increase focus. And now we're just going to bring our focus right to that third eye center or the space between your eyes. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale nice and slow, and then think of that third eye center. Now we're going to see if we can just imagine that we're drawing a line about 2 inches in further past that third eye center. So notice that touch point that's between the space of your eyes. Draw in with your imagination about 2 inches, and then see if you can just send the breath to that space. Inhale nice and slow through your nose. Exhale even slower if you can. 3 more cycles of breath. Once you've completed that last cycle of breath, we're going to release that chin mudra. Let your hands gently fall off the sides of your legs and then gently reach down through the fingertips. And now we're going to lift our arms up and lift our heels. So as you inhale, arms and heels are going to lift up to the sky. Maybe you look up just a little bit. And then as you exhale, palms flip, float your arms down, float your heels down as well. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your heels. Exhale, float your arms down and float your heels down. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your heels. Exhale, float your arms down, float your heels down. Beautiful. Hands are going to find the thighs again. And now we're going to lean forward and then see if you can just let your hands slide past your kneecaps down to your shins. And then once you've hit about the shins, bring it all back. Hands are going to float right past the kneecaps onto the thighs. Lean forward. So go for hip hinge, slide your hands past your knees and do a little bit of touch here. So what we want to do is, especially as we come back up, a little bit of light pressure to drag lymphatic fluid up past the knees, up to the thighs. So a lighter touch as you lower down, and then a little bit of gentle pressure as you glide your way back up. Go for 2 more here if you can. Wonderful. And then the next time you come up, we're going to take that movement a little bit further. So you're going to let your hands drip off your thighs. Inhale, arms up and look up. And then as you exhale, you're going to go for hip hinge, lean all the way forward and touch down to the ground. And then we're going to take a big grand movement to sweep the arms back up. So use the strength in the back of your body. Come back up, arms up and overhead. Exhale, take it into a nice big fold. Heart comes forward. Touch wherever feels the most comfortable. And then once you've touched, come right back up. Inhale, arms come up and look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale to fold. And go one more time here. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale to fold, and then we're going to fold and drag up. So we're going to drag the hands up to the knees, and then we'll take it right into some cat and cow. So inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, a little tuck of the pelvis to find a big movement in the spine. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your chin. Exhale, round your back. Go for 3 more cycles of breath if you can. Nice. And then once you've completed that last cycle of breath, we're going to take it into a gentle twist. So you're just going to cross your hand just to the outside of the knee and then find a slight and gentle rotation. So not full range of motion, just go for a light and gentle rotation. Once you've got that gentle rotation, we're going to take our ribs and we're going to circle them around. So you're going to hold that little bit of rotational positioning, and then you're just going to start to draw your ribs in circles. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just imagine that you're taking your rib cage and drawing it around. So the shape might look different on everybody, but just find some nice little wiggly movement there. And then if you're going in one particular direction, see if you can take those circles and go the other way. Only go as far as feels good. So if you get any places where it's a little pinchy or funky, loosen up just a little bit. No need to go extreme with the circles of the rib cage. Go one more time around and then let everything come to stillness for a moment. Take a breath. Beautiful. And then release that twist and take it over to the other side. Pause for a moment, just noticing the twisted position. And then if it feels good, take it and draw it in some rib cage circles. Go just with that. And one side might feel very different from the other. So if you get here and there's anything feeling pinchy or gets a little stuck, go slow, reduce the range of motion, give some time to let things move in a nice fluid way. Wonderful. Take one more circle around and then reverse directions, go the other way. Nice. Take one more circle around and then let everything come to stillness. Pause for a moment, take a breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, come back to center and we're just going to gently pat, pat, pat around the side of the body. So up the sides of the ribs just as much as you can, pat, pat up and down. Get just a little bit of range of motion across that side of the body. And specifically, we're focusing on that soft side body tissue. So just kind of give it a little pat, 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 a little stimulation. And then we're going to make our tiger pause and we're going to gently pat from the belly button out to the hip point. So you're going to pat in, tap it out, pick it up, bring it right back in. Pat, pat, pat out to the hip points, pick it up, bring it back in. Pat, pat, pat out. And you're just going to go a couple times through, but just taking it from the belly button to the hip points, patting out. All right, one more time through, and then we're going to do a little crisscross of our arms against the abdomen, and then we're going to lean forward. So this is a little bit for digestion, but knowing that when we are not feeling well, sometimes it can affect the whole system. So we're just going to lean into the digestive system just enough. So don't go extreme. We don't even want to feel like a big bit of pressure against the abdomen, just enough so you feel and sense the arms against the belly, and then just take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Notice if going into that abdominal space, did you pick up tension in your jaw? Did you clench your teeth? Can you keep a little bit of space between the teeth, but still breathing out through your nose best you can? One more cycle of breath. And then gently lift off. And now we're going to take our little gentle tiger pause and we're just kind of draw some gentle circles just to kind of soothe out the abdomen, bring a little bit of gentleness back into that space, give it a little bit of love. And then once you feel like you just loved your belly just enough, we're going to just pick up one leg, use a little basket weave handhold to grab that leg, and then take that leg and draw it in a couple gentle circles. And then think of this as not so much even just like moving the hip, although you are moving the thigh bone in the hip socket. Think of this as a massaging of the lymphatic area in the groin area. So we're doing just a little bit of smooshing around, but want to get it slightly across the midline of your body if you can. All right, and then if you're going in one particular direction, go the other way. Nice. Take one more circle around, and then we're going to go for a light lift, but slightly across the midline of the body. So like you're pulling your knee slightly towards the shoulder. So there's a little bit of a compression in that inner thigh area. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release that leg down, and we're going to take it to the other side. Make your basket weave, pick that leg up, draw it in some circles, bringing it slightly across the midline of the body. Awesome. One more circle around in this direction and then reverse, go the other way. Beautiful. One more circle around and then take it slightly across the midline of the body towards the shoulder. So there's that little bit of compression. Pause there, take a breath. Beautiful. And then release it nice and slow. Take a moment to just find a good foundation so your feet feel solid on the ground. And then one hand's going to touch the chair, other hand's going to lift up. We're going to start by reaching down into the sits bones as we lift the fingertips up just to create a little space in the side of the body, like we're going for that side bend, and then release it right back down. Lift the fingertips up, press down into the sits bones like you're reaching up towards the ceiling, and then release. Lift up, find that space in the side of the body. Keep that space, hold it just for a moment. Take a nice big breath, breathe into the rib cage. Beautiful. And then release it nice and slow. We're going to switch right to the other side. Touch the chair, extend your arm up, press down into the sits bones as you lift up through the fingertips, and then release. Press down and reach up, and then release. Press down and reach up. Pause there, keep that length, take a breath, breathe into the side of the rib cage. Beautiful. And then we're going to release that arm. We're going to fold into a little bit of a child's pose. And we want to see if we can get our hands to access the low back. And then we're going to just take fists, open palm, whatever you have access to that you can do a little bit of a touch. So lean yourself forward, think child's pose, let your belly and chest be supported on your thighs, and then take those hands and then do just a nice vigorous, if you can, if your arms and your shoulders will allow it, bring a little bit of heat to that low back kidney area. So really get it fired up just as much as you can. All right, take one more moment to find that little bit of heat and stimulation. And then if it's available, you're just going to relax your hands down. If your hands can, let your hands touch to your feet. So touch your toes, touch the tops of your feet, touch your ankles, wherever your hands can land, that we close that circuit. So we want to just feel, just for a moment, like the body is one nice whole connected unit from top to bottom. And then just see if you can encourage a breath that fills up your entire unit of your body. Lovely. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully walk yourself up and out. We're going to re-pick up that left leg, grab the heel, and then we're just going to take it a little bit in and out. So just moving in that thigh bone, moving a little bit so it feels good. Wake everything up. And then if it feels available, bring it into a figure 4 position. Lean forward just a little bit, and then lean right back off of it. Lean forward just a little bit, and then lean right back off of it. Lean forward just a little bit, lean off, and now we're going to do the dish towel ring to our foot. So you're just going to twist and turn up and down the foot. One more twist and turn up and down the foot, and then we're going to do a thumb to the tip of the big toe. So whatever, I like a little gun finger, pew pew. My index finger slips in between my big toe, and then I have a little trigger, and I hold on to my thumb, my big toe, and I use my thumb pressing into the tip of my big toe. So if you can find a little handhold that allows you to press your thumb into the tip of your big toe, and then you're going to draw little micro circles. So with as much pressure as feels comfortable. And then once you've got that going on, if you can, just for a moment, close your eyes down, breathe in and out through your nose best you can. One more nice little moment here. And then before we release, we're just going to take a couple of taps of the thumb to the finger, like it's a little video game arcade trigger. So you're just going to give a couple of good taps to the tip of your big toe with your thumb. And then when you're ready, release your finger from your big toe, lean your heart forward into that figure 4, go as far as feels comfortable. Now take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Lift up nice and slow before we release that leg. Rotate towards your knee just a little bit. Gently pull it in towards your heart space, and then release it and ease that leg off. So just help it come off nice and slow and controlled. Take your time. And then when you're ready, we're going to grab the other leg, take a little bit in and out. One more little in and out, and then bring it across the thigh. Make sure that feels good. Do a little lean forward. Bring yourself right back out of that. Do a little lean forward. Bring yourself back out. Do a little lean forward. Bring yourself back out, and then do the dish towel ring. So we're just going to twist and turn the foot, twisting towards the toes and then towards the ankle. Nice. And then even as you twist and turn your foot, notice, do you pick up tension in your jaw? Is there an occasional point where you hit where all of a sudden you're like, ah, or am I speaking just for myself? All right, one more little twist and turn, and then we're going to take our pew pew fingers, and then we're going to grab that big toe, get your little trigger hold, and then you're just going to press the thumb into the tip of your big toe, draw some micro circles, circle in one direction. Circle the other way. Beautiful. And then before we release, little taps, tap, taps, the thumb to the tip of the big toe. Nice. And then once you've tap, tap, tap just enough, release your little pew, pew, pew finger, and then lean yourself forward into that figure four. And this time just go to your edge where it feels the best, and then pause there for a moment and take a breath. Wonderful. When you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully lift yourself up. Step that leg off. We're going to take a quick one side and then the other just to bring bigger length through the side of the body, and sort of side body stretches can sometimes be beneficial for fatigue, which can come along with not feeling well. So we're going to take a quick, but we're going to stay there for a minute. So we're going to finish with that, and then we'll find our way back to our Shavasana. But if you know you want like a pillow or a block or anything cozy underneath you, or a blanket on your lap for your Shavasana, maybe just have that nearby so you're ready. And then when you feel like it's time, take a little pivot in your seat. We're going to let the hip drop down. We're going to lean into the back of the chair. Almost think like big yawning stretch. You're going to let your hip drop down. You're going to let your arm stretch up and overhead, and let that arm be a little bit lazy. So rather than like big giant reach through the arm, just let it kind of reach up and then hang soft and heavy. Mostly want to find that feeling of sensation, armpit, side of the waist, rib cage, and then maybe where the waist meets the hip, finding that little bit of length. And then just take 2 more cycles of breath here. Slowly and mindfully release. Take your time as you come out, and then we're going to pivot right over to the other side. So take your time as you kind of scoot yourself around, get yourself arranged in a way that feels good, getting one side of your hip off the chair, and then we let it lengthen down towards the ground. Let that outer hand reach up and over, but let it be a nice lazy arm. So once you've found that side body stretch, let the elbow be soft, let your fingers be soft, and then just breathe into the side of your body. Wonderful. When you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully release. Take your time as you release. And then as you come back through center, just feel free to swish anything out that you need to. So maybe some windshield wipers, maybe some little shoulder shrugs, do any little wiggles, any little last little micro movements that might feel good. And then start to scoot your butt back in your chair. Maybe grab your blanket, put it on your lap, maybe even tuck your fingers or your toes into your blanket, anything that would feel just that little bit of extra comfort care. But then as you start to settle into your chair, if I give you this wise words from the Buddha, what we think we become. So if what we think we become, we start to think, I am healthy, I am well, I'm a source of light for everyone around me, I am loving, I am kind, and then just allow your body to soften. Let your jaw soften. Soften your cheekbones, soften your temples, soften your forehead. You'll always have the option to stay in your Shavasana as long as you like. If you feel ready to just start to gently come back into your body, keeping your eyes closed if you can, keep your back against the back of the chair. We're going to do light little shoulder shrugs with the breath. So you're going to stay leaning back into the chair. We're going to create that little bit of trap of the skin and connective tissue against the back of the chair. And as you inhale, your shoulders are just going to gently lift up towards your ears. And then as you exhale, your shoulders are going to soften down. Inhale and let your shoulders gently lift. Exhale and let your shoulders soften down. Inhale, let your shoulders gently lift. Exhale, let your shoulders soften down, and then take it into your fingers and your toes. Just twinkle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move just a little bit organically in the hands and the feet. Maybe let that movement come into your wrists and your ankles just enough. You may notice a slightly deeper breath starting to come back into your body. And then once you feel like that deeper breath is finding its way back into your body, lift your back away from the back of your seat. Let your hands and your feet settle. Inhale, let your shoulders lift up to your ears. Exhale, let your shoulders soften down. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale, let your shoulders soften down. Do that one more time. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale, let your shoulders soften down. We're going to take middle fingers. So the pads of the middle fingers are going to find the crease where your curve of your nose meets the crease around your mouth. So that little line that runs along your lips, find that line of crease, walk it all the way up to the space where you hit the curve of your nose. You're going to push in and gently up. So you're going to use your middle fingers, push in towards your face and then slightly up towards your eyes. And then we're just going to draw a little tiny micro circle. So it might look a little funny. Don't worry about what it looks like. It might constrict the breath coming out of the nostrils. Don't worry about that. We're not going to be here too long. And then if you're going in one particular direction with your circles, reverse, go the other way. Take one more circle around, and then we're going to take it right into an alternate nostril breathing, but with just one side. So take a moment to notice which side is a little bit more constricted. Yeah, always have a tissue nearby for certain things, right? We're going to close off the more congested side. So if you have one side that you can breathe through, that's the side you're going to work with. Close off the congested side, and we're going to just go for 3 cycles of breath, but as slow as you can. Inhale nice and slow through that open side. Exhale even slower through the open side. Inhale nice and slow through the open side, maybe pressing down into your big toes as well. Exhale through that open side, but maybe you release your big toes as well. One more time. Inhale through the open side, maybe press down into the big toes. Relax the pressure in your toes. Exhale through the open side. And then once you've completed that exhale, you're just going to release the handhold from the other side. So you're just going to release that nostril and then take a flowing breath through both sides if it's available. Nice. And then we're just going to bring our tapping fingers right to the heart space. So we're going to tap, tap, tap with as much oomph behind that tap as you can. Take about 3 more good vigorous tap, tap, taps around. And then once you feel like you've tap, tap, tapped around the heart space just as much as feels good, stack your hands on top of your heart. Close your eyes down. Soften your chin slightly toward your heart space. Take a nice gentle breath in. Slow breath out. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Take another nice full inhalation. Maybe let the shoulders lift just a little bit. Maybe let the face scrunch up just a little bit. And then as you exhale, let your shoulders soften. Soften your face and come back to that idea of what we think we become. So maybe think about light. think about love, and take that and become it through the rest of your day. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday.